Welcome guys to episode 1 of the Overcoming Adversity series for the human experience. Today I am talking to Charlie, and Charlie's world was turned upside down in the year 2018. Rather than me tell you what happened or tell the story, I would like to welcome you first and thank you so much for being here. And I want to give you some space to be able to tell your story of what happened to you.
Okay. It was the 18th of May 2018. Normal Friday, come home from work. My oldest son made us dinner, and then we all went to bed like we normally do. And at 1 o'clock on the Saturday morning, I heard the doorbell go, and I woke up my husband and I said to him, someone's ringing the doorbell. So first thing was something's wrong, because who rings the doorbell at 1 o'clock in the morning? And so my husband jumped up and he went and opened the door, and then he came back upstairs and he said, Charlie, they want to talk to us about Nathan. And then I was like, is Nathan in his room? And my husband ran upstairs and he came back down and he said, no, he's not. So I got up, and I was actually on crutches at the time because I just had an operation on my leg. And I hobbled downstairs and, just looking at the police's faces. It was a policeman and a woman, and just looking at their faces, I knew what they were going to tell me was going to wreck my world. It was going to blow everything apart. So they said to us, show him the really young girl. She just burst out crying. And
The police officer
The
did?
police officer, yeah. And she was like, so sorry to bring you this news, but there's been a hit and run down on Otea Valley Road, and your son was involved and he's passed away at the scene. And at that time, I think shock just set in. I just went into like shock mode, and I was like, okay, prove it to me that it's my son. Because I was like, you're telling me this, but have you got proof?
So your first reaction was disbelief?
Disbelief, yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe this.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is not happening to me and my family. I think it was all just surreal. I just sat there like staring at them like, no, it can't be. I mean, I saw him 3 hours ago.
It sounds like you're watching a movie.
Yeah. Especially when we went to the door and there was the 3 of them standing at the door. You know when you watch those movies?
And that's what happens.
Yeah.
And they take their hats off or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it's actually happening to you in real life.
Yeah.
And you never would prepare yourself for a moment like that.
Never, ever. And then we had the victim support lady was with them, and she said to me that I need to wake up everybody that's in the house. So I was like, okay. So I then went upstairs and I went to my mum and dad, and it's really weird because my dad never sleeps heavy, but that night he did. He didn't wake up with the doorbell. He didn't wake up with anything.
Right.
And my dad had also just come out of surgery, though, 2 days before too. He had surgery on his shoulder. And so I went upstairs and woke them both up. And my dad jumped out of bed and he was like, what's going on? And I looked at him and I'm like, it's Nathan. And he goes, what do you mean it's Nathan? And I was like, he's gone. Daddy's gone. And my dad was like, what do you mean? Are you all right?
He didn't understand.
Yeah,
gone
he
where?
didn't He's like, what do you mean? Are you okay? And then my mom burst out crying, because that's what my mom does. Yeah. And she burst out crying and she was just so emotional. And she's like, you mean he's gone? And I'm like, yeah, Nathan's dead. He's gone. And I just like looked. I couldn't cry. I just stood there staring at my dad going, he's dead.
Because I imagine in that moment of saying it, you're still not connecting that he's dead, because you saw him 3 hours ago.
Yeah. So I woke up Shelby And I woke up Cece and I said, oh guys, I've got like something to tell you guys. And they were both like, what, Mum? And then I said to them, how do you tell them their brother's passed? Yeah. I said to them that I was like, Nathan has gone and he won't be coming back.
Aww.
And Cece didn't understand. I said, Nathan's gone to heaven. And she's like, what do you mean, Mum? I don't understand. What are you saying? And Shelby just stared at me like I was on drugs or something. She was like, no, Mum, you're lying. She goes, you're lying.
She would have been in an alternate reality as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. And then Orion grabbed Shelby because she just then burst out crying. And Cece, when I because how do you explain to a 9-year-old? I was like, he's gone to heaven. She goes, what's heaven? And I was like, he's never coming back.
Yeah.
And then I think she kind of grasped it, but
Right.
didn't. But the never coming back, she kind of got it then.
Yeah, because it almost sounds like he's gone away on a trip.
Yes.
And he's never coming back.
Yeah.
But it's so
not.
much more.
It's so
and
much,
it's
yeah.
what you must have also been experiencing, I imagine, is not only has he gone, but I can't tell you how and why he's gone.
Yeah. And that was it too. And all I kept saying to the policeman when we went back downstairs, I was like, is he on his own? Because just thinking about him lying on the side of the road on his own, it got to me so much.
It's difficult
Yeah.
to relive all of this.
Yeah. And it's the first time I'm actually going through it all again.
First time you've shared it in this way.
Yeah.
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 It's big.
Yeah. But I want it out there so that it can help other people maybe, hopefully. And have teenagers think before they do stuff.
Yeah, so what would be for the main outtake for you? You say, I want to share my story. I'm willing to share, because I asked you.
Yeah.
I'm willing to share my story because it may help in some way.
Yeah.
What would you want to say to teenagers? Like, what would be the message?
Well, one would be, okay, Nathan snuck out. He does what I think most teenagers do.
Yeah.
And he crossed at a pedestrian crossing just before the light turned red, so before he was allowed to.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
on his bike?
On his bicycle, yeah.
Yeah.
But I still don't think that should have cost him his life.
No.
So, but teenagers being teenagers, they think they're indestructible.
Yes.
And nothing's going to happen to them.
Almost even any human, maybe.
Yeah, well, yeah, true. Any human, not just not just teenagers, but teenagers a bit more, I think.
But riskier behaviour,
Yeah, because as you're an adult, you've gone through a few things that have made you a bit more wary.
And your brain's fully formed, and your consequential brain's fully formed, and if I do this, this might happen.
Yeah.
So it would be that every action that you take, there's a consequence, and it might be one that means that your life will never, ever be the same again. And not just yours, but other people's.
Yeah, your whole family, everybody that knows you. You know, I'm pretty open. I'm a lot more open than what my husband and my mum are to forgiving people and stuff. I mean, straight away when I found out that it was a girl, I was like, oh my gosh, that's 2 people's lives that are ruined forever.
You just thought that
and
poor
I
girl. Yeah.
felt so sorry for her. And still, my mum and Orion looked at me and they were like, you're really feeling sorry for her right now? And I was like, well, she didn't get up in the morning and say, I want to go kill someone.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I was like, it's an accident. And then, so, but when I started seeing her at court and everything like that, I mean, I'll never forget the first day we sat at the coffee shop and we waited because our detective said she would meet us at the coffee shop and then we'd walk across to the court together for the first court hearing. So she phoned me, my detective, and she said, she might not be here today because she's been having a bit of mental issues and it's really affecting her and stuff. So she might not be here at the court today. So I was like, oh, okay, that's all right then. And then I saw her and her brother and her sister walking up, and I think it's her brother. I know it was definitely her sister, but I'm not sure if the guy was her brother or friend or whatever. But they were walking up in the parking lot, laughing and joking, and because she didn't know who we were. They were laughing and joking and like it's a normal day that they're going to court. And I just like looked and I thought, okay, I don't expect you to be crying all the time and like seriously depressed all the time. But a little bit of emotion would have been, just gone a little way. And also she was never remorseful, never.
It doesn't sound, that reaction to even be able to laugh and joke, I mean, in a time like that, when you're walking into a courtroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know her or the situation, but it doesn't sound remorseful.
No.
Which would make that pain, that understanding and compassion towards her, I guess, shift towards a different emotion.
Yeah.
So have you thought, is there anything you do want to say to her?
I hope she learns from it and takes this and she does something with her life and she thinks the next time she has a drink or has a smoke to not get behind the steering wheel of a car. Or I'm not going to say don't do it because you know things happen and you do them.
So I think what I'm hearing is please make this wrong right.
Yeah.
In some
little way. Yeah. Make it so that his life wasn't taken for no reason. That you learn something from it. And I hope other teenagers and stuff also think twice. They think of Nathan when they're having that drink or that smoke and let's get a taxi or get someone else that can drive.
Because this can happen to anybody.
It can happen to anybody.
It doesn't discriminate.
No, it doesn't. Anyone. And it doesn't matter, I'm saying teenagers, but it doesn't matter how old you are. It's the same thing. It's like,
Oh, yeah, it can happen to adults and anyone. I want to change direction a little bit, and I just want to talk to you about, because we've gotten the story, I want to go into grief a little bit because not everyone understands what grief does or what it feels like or what it is. So can you describe what your grief felt like or what it was?
Okay. I think the first time I really broke down crying was the Thursday when I got home. So the Thursday I let anybody that wanted to come say goodbye to him, I let them come. So I left the funeral home open so anybody could come say goodbye to him.
Yes.
He was in Vanguard military school and 30 of those kids came down, walked from school and came down and paid their respects to him.
So what did that mean for you?
It just, they stood around him and they said the Vanguard pledge. And then the one boy, I think he was Maori, and he got down on his knee and started saying a Maori prayer. These are kids between the ages of 15 and 16, 17 years old.
The maturity, hey?
Yeah, I was like, wow. Okay.
Just how they hold, what I've noticed in my own experience is the way that they hold themselves with such pride and mana and I'm here to do the right thing. And I think that was probably the thing that touched you.
Yeah.
They did the
right thing. Yeah, they came and they
honoured him.
Honoured him. Yeah, they did. They really did. They came, they honoured him. And then every single one of them came up and hugged me and said, thank you for letting us have time with your son. Thank you for giving up your time with him for us. I was just, wow. Okay.
Unreal. So something about that moment just got you.
It stuck. Yeah, it sticks with me. It'll always stick with me.
Yeah.
But
and isn't it fun? It's those little things.
Yeah.
It's not the big gestures. It's not this. It's to me that's the authenticity of I'm showing up.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be massive or showy. It's just I'm here.
Yeah.
For you, for him. For him.
Yeah. And that's what they did. And I mean, they even at his funeral, his air cadets did a walk of honour and they did like a bridge of honour so the casket walked through them. And then the Vanguard whole school, the whole school was there. The whole Vanguard school did a haka for him.
He was so special.
Yeah. It just showed me that how many lives he reached. And I mean, he must have been one special boy for all the respect and honours he got and that. I mean, even the guy from New Zealand Air Force came, one of the guys really high up. He came, and I got a letter from the New Zealand Air Force from the main guy, and then the second guy in charge came to the funeral.
Yeah, and I'm just imagining as a mother, if I was one, that would be one thing that would make me feel like some sense of, it's definitely not relief, but just he was so special. Like
you've done something right.
Yeah, you've done something right. And I guess it's a double-edged sword, because it's like he was so special and he created such an impact in such a short life. And what could he have done?
That was my thing too. Yeah, it's like what could he have gone on to be, and what could he have, because that's one thing my husband Orion always pushed, was because Orion's in kind of a job that he doesn't like. So he always tried to push Nathan, and he was like, you need to do something that you like, because it's something you're going to do for the rest of your life. And since he was 5, he said he wanted to go to the Air Force, and that's
his
what
dreams were coming true.
Yeah. I was lucky. I had a lot of support from everybody. I mean, my mom, I love her.
Remember, you're being filmed right now.
I know, no. What I want to say is, what comes with grief is anger too.
Oh, sure, yes.
And my mom is the main person I take my anger out on.
Oh, I see. So it's like it's projected onto her because she's your mum.
And I think it's also because she will always love me. She will never...
Unconditional love, right?
Yeah, and she will never judge me, and she will... My mum's had a really hard time with me.
Right, so you've taken it out on her a lot.
I've taken it out on her, which, but...
Well, feel free to apologise.
I'm sorry, Mum.
But that's a good point to raise,
Yeah, you do.
You take it out
I promise you take it out on the ones that are closest. Even my husband. I mean, not as bad, but yeah, my mom's the one. I don't know why. My mom's always my person that I...
Do you know what? I can relate. And sometimes Sean's like, you're really mean to your mum. I'm like, I don't even realise that I'm doing it. But I think it's that taken for granted thing, I think.
Yes, because they'll always love you no matter what.
Yeah,
and
that's naughty.
It is a bit naughty.
Yeah.
But at least I've realised, and I've told her.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, and I know that I've taken most of it out on you. But yeah, with grief, and that's what happens is, like everyone says to me, you've got to wait till you get actually angry with, because I've been upset and I think more disappointed, but I've never actually been angry at the girl. Like,
it came across then before.
Physically.
That you weren't angry,
no.
But that you were just like, I just want you to learn from this. So you haven't had that rage.
I haven't had that yet, or towards Nathan either, because like everyone says to me, that's still going to come. And the thing is though, that it's not just me that's going through the grief.
I know.
There's Shelby, there's Cece, there's Nathan, the sisters. There's there's Xander, who's his stepbrother, and
your
then
mum, your dad,
my mum, my dad, Orion's mum and dad, his girlfriend, his school friends, nieces, nephews, cousins.
It's like a tidal wave, really. Hey, and then it just spreads out. Like, what's helped you in the last 2 years? Is there anything that stand up for you coping?
My therapist, who's now become my best friend.
We're besties.
Yes.
Oh, that's
I love her.
Cool. Yes.
Her name's Alex, and I love her.
Oh, that's so good to say.
Yeah, she has helped me so much. There's times where we just like sit and laugh and stuff, but it still helps.
Yeah.
It's
your special place.
Yeah.
Where you can be anything, whether that's falling over in laughter or like completely losing it and using up a whole box of tissues.
Yes.
In one session.
Yeah. and we do have those sometimes. But yeah, having her, having my friends that like everyone always said to me, oh, they will like dwindle away afterwards, you know. But every now and then, like I get a text from all my friends, like, how are you doing? Are you okay? Is everything good? Is everything all right? And I'm like, yeah, all good, all good.
Just
okay.
having people's support.
Yeah.
It's so huge, because I understand when people say it will dwindle away, because for a lot of people, life goes on.
Yeah.
But I think the loss of a child is so, it touches people in a completely different way.
Yeah.
Because that's something I don't, well, you can probably say, do you ever come back from that?
Not really, no.
No.
Even like just family, like my brother and I, he lives in Tauranga, and our relationship can be sometimes a bit strained, but we are working on it, and I love him to bits. And just having him as well, like just texts out of the blue, oh, you okay, Charlie? Is everything okay?
So
are you doing
family
good?
support.
Family is really, I mean, having, my cousins back, and my aunts and uncles and stuff. I mean, because we don't really have a lot of family here because of us being from South Africa. So
it sounds to me like it's brought a lot of people together.
Yeah.
And I know that you have some mixed emotions about that.
Yeah.
Because I almost want to say to the camera, like, don't let it take something as horrific as this for you to mend your bridges.
Life is seriously short. You don't know. I mean, we can walk out here tomorrow, God forbid.
Yeah,
but we can walk out here right now and I could get hit by a car.
So are you happy with your connections? Are you happy with the way you've lived your life? Are you happy with your relationships? Because that's the truth. Yeah. We're not given or promised a day here.
Yeah. You don't know what's going to happen.
And we're not invincible.
Yeah, no, you're not invincible at all. And I think another thing that's helped me through is my work have been amazing.
Wow.
I could not ask for a better employer.
Where do you work?
When I have Westpac Bank.
Go Westpac Bank.
Yeah, they have been absolutely amazing.
Wow. That is
the support they've given me, the love they've given me, and it's even still now, if like I need something or I need time off or I need, sure, take it, go, you know, and I'm like, oh, but I don't have leave, and we'll work it out with you, we'll sort it out with you, don't worry about it, you know.
I think that also says something about the kind of person that you are as well. You know, I think that it's obvious that they're really compassionate and being so support, which is unreal in times like that. You just need it. The support is
you need it.
But that says something to me about you. What's been important? What's become important to you post Nathan's death?
Is one, my main thing that Orion and I both said in the beginning was that we never ever want the girls in Zandi to say that the day they lost Nathan, they lost their parents too. Because nobody asked for this situation.
No. Yeah.
So and I know it's hard, and I know it's because, trust me, there's been times that I've been down and out and been like, hang on, you know. And lucky I've got Orion as well. But also I feel bad because I don't want to put too much on him because he's going through the same thing.
Yeah, sure. So I hear what you're saying is what's been important for you is to stay here on Earth.
Yes.
And to be a good parent
to...
Because we don't want the kids to not only lose a brother, but to lose us in this, crazy...
Yeah. Like if you, like I know quite a few people when they go through grief and that they turn to drugs, turn to alcohol.
To escape, to numb.
To numb it. And I can 100% believe why you would do it, and I can 100% understand why you would do it.
Take the pain away.
But that was one thing, promise we made to each other and to the kids.
Wow. Yeah, so we all turn up at our jobs, 40-hour weeks, and a lot of the time, I would imagine, that 50% of us are going through something, or actually have got really big stuff going on.
Yeah.
But we're just going through the motions.
Yeah.
And it's like, sometimes you just need someone to say, hey, like, are you all good?
Yeah.
And I think people are afraid to have those conversations. They can be. But it's just know that when you ask someone that question, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
You can literally just say, hey, you okay?
Okay.
And just listen.
Yeah.
So powerful.
That's all it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the good thing as well at my work is my team that I work with, there's like 6 or 7 of us. And 3 of us have gone through hard stuff the last 2 years. And they're really good at that. Like even my team leader, she'll look at me some days and she'll go, you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm all right. I just need, and she's like, if you need me, you know where I am, but I'll leave you now. And I was like, okay.
How powerful is that check-in?
That's
The check-in.
Yeah.
All she's doing is saying three words.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
I just want to check in.
Yeah, because she can see from my demeanour that day that,
You can tell
that something's wrong. Yeah.
And I think that's a really good point to raise, you know, if we're thinking about our work communities is look outside of yourself.
Yeah.
Check it, like, does that person, be aware of not just yourself but others. You know, we have a really high rate of suicide in this country, massive.
Yeah.
Particularly among certain socio groups or ethnicities
groups.
and age
also
groups.
Age groups, yeah.
So youth have the highest rate of suicide in this country. Pacifica and Māori males have the highest rate among males, and there's this thing of, oh, I should have, and it's like, you can tell by looking at somebody.
Yeah, yeah.
They're like
you
pale,
can just tell the way they
hold themselves.
and yeah, they're not very open most of the time when you got someone like that.
Yeah, so be brave.
Yeah.
Check in is the message, you know, that I'm hearing. Isn't it, I guess, incredible to see the opposite side? You experienced one awful side of humanity, that your son was left alone to die. You experienced the other side of humanity, which was people would do anything for you.
Yeah, yeah. And the detective, Kelly, she was amazing right through it all, but also the police. I mean,
what a job! What a
I
job!
know, geez. When we went,
have to do that.
We went down to, because they in the Maori culture, they bless the land, so that because they believe that his spirit is still in the land until you bless it, and then he can be let free.
Yeah.
So we went down to where it happened, and they asked us if it's okay if they bless, and I said, yeah, that's perfect. And I met the lady. She wasn't the detective. She was the first police lady on the scene. And she came to me and she said to me, she goes, I saw your son. She said, he's the splitting image of my son. She said, that's what got her like so. And she said, I can't remember what it's called in Maori.
Karakia?
I think so.
The prayer?
Yeah, and she wrapped him in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she said I did some, I can't remember what it's called.
Wow.
I wish I knew what it was called. But she said I wrapped him in it so that he wouldn't be alone and he wouldn't be by himself. And she sat with him.
What an
and
angel.
Went to the hospital with him. She goes, so if you ever thought he was on his own?
He wasn't on his own.
He wasn't. I was there with him. And I was, that was just amazing. I mean, they didn't have to do that. And even the other detective said to me, we tried to get her to leave, she wouldn't. Because she went like 3 or 4 hours over her shift. And just having people like that. Also, that's like, sometimes I see the police getting abused and stuff, you know, and I'm just like, their job is hard, man. Don't make it harder for them for no reason.
I think people forget that they're here to like protect us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sometimes they have to do the horrible stuff, but you know. Yeah.
Oh wow, that last part just really got me. But I think I was just thinking of putting myself in those shoes and being the one thing that you were concerned about was like,
him being
is he alone?
Yeah.
And just knowing that somebody else was there. Thanks for giving me tissues.
That's a pleasure.
Yeah, I just think those are things that you don't even know how to ask for.
Yeah.
Yeah, but someone did that for you. For him.
Yeah.
If you could share anything from this experience with the world, what would it be?
Grab your kids today, hug them, tell them you love them every day. Don't take any minute for granted. Spend time with your loved ones. If there's someone you haven't spoken to in a long time, pick up that phone or send a text and just say hi. That hi makes a big difference. And yeah, I would like to also look towards, because in New Zealand there's not a lot of support for children that are going through things like this. And that's why they've got the Gumboot Friday and stuff like that, for kids. Because like you said, the big thing in New Zealand is the suicide rate in teenagers and stuff.
And it's a knock-on effect.
Yeah, and having a teenager that's been through a lot, and it costs a lot to get a psychologist and to get help for them. For me, I'm really lucky. My work helped with that. So with me, but with kids it's a little bit more hard. But they did look at how they could help me, and we've kind of got something in place now for her. But it's, it's hard when you and middle family that's just trying to get by, and then you got the extra costs of having to pay for therapy and stuff like that. And I know that there's school therapists and guidance, but they're not grief counsellors. And that's the hard thing.
Yeah, you want your kids to have the best support that they can have. So that's a message that you want to share, to say, that's something that we could look at, is how do we support the children who are left here. I just want to ask you one last thing before we wrap up, and it would be, is there any, I think this is an important question, any advice on how to support people who have lost somebody? Because a lot of people don't know what to do and what to say, so I just think that is something that you could probably answer.
So just being there for them and being there if they need you. Don't suffocate them and stuff, but if they just let them know that, hey, I'm here. If you need me, I'm here. Just send me a text or say hi or whatever. Just be there. And also, don't tell anybody that's lost somebody that they will get over it and time heals. And because it doesn't heal. You get used to living with the pain. Each and every day you get used to living with the pain more. So it's not actually time healing, it's you just going through the motion and getting stronger and stronger as you're going through it.
That was my next question, is any advice of what not to do? So you've answered it both beautifully. Thank you so much for sharing, for being so brave, for sharing such a traumatic experience that is ongoing. And I just want to say thank you.
No, thank you for having me.